The MMY 1001 study is basically the addition of daratumumab to various backbone regimens in myeloma, and this particular cohort is the addition of dara to carfilzomib and dexamethasone, the so-called DKD regimen. In this study, the safety results have already been presented previously and shows really that the addition of dara doesn't really add much to the toxicity profile that you would expect. And in terms of the efficacy, what's updated here at this year's ASCO meeting is the subgroup of lenalidomide-refractory patients. And the reason that's important is that there have been a lot of phase 3 studies that have been published recently in high-impact journals where novel agent triplet-based regimens are compared to lenalidomide and dex backbone regimens. The problem is that vast majority of patients in the US are now getting lenalidomide maintenance, because we know that that led to an increased OS benefit, and therefore there's an increasing use of lenalidomide, which then would make all of these people ineligible for the phase 3 studies that we just covered. So the len refractory cohort here was 50 patients of the entire group of 85 patients of DKD. And in the len refractory cohort, the response rate was no different than the overall cohort, about 80%, including in that CRs, stringent CRs, and even one patient who had MRD negativity, although that was not a primary endpoint of the study. The, I think, more important and interesting study result is the progression-free survival was 14 months, which in this particular population for len refractory is very encouraging. It's always, you know, we should use caution when doing cross-study comparisons, but to put it in the context of other studies, len refractory outcomes for POM-DEX was approximately 4 months, admittedly with a more heavily pretreated population, but with other regimens in this 1 to 3 lines of therapy space with len refractory, the PFSs have been ranged from 8 to 9 months. So this 14-month is encouraging, and I think it'll be interesting to see the results of the randomized phase 3 study of carfilzomib dex plus or minus daratumumab, which is already ongoing, and results will be very important for drug approval. I think the other important message from the 1001 study with this DKD cohort is the ability to give daratumumab as a split dose. Because up till now, one of the main limitations of giving daratumumab in the community has been the long first dose infusion time, median 7 hours. And the infusion-related reactions in that first dose can be approximately 40 to 50%. Here, daratumumab was given as a split dose in 75 patients, and the median infusion time was approximately 4 hours each day. And the infusion-related reactions were only about 37% in the first dose and less than 3 to 4% in the second dose. So I think this ability to give dara over 2 days is really going to be an important advancement for community doctors and patients for convenience.